Alright. Hello, everyone. This is Ryu Goomba. You can also call me Richard. And we are going through Stage 3 in my Samurai Jack Battle Through Time Master Samurai video walkthrough. Alright, so for some reason, I don't know why, the game took forever to load. Probably because I was closing stuff in the background for this video. Just so I would have better performance while recording. It usually doesn't take this long. And also, as a disclaimer, hopefully you don't hear my cat in the background because he's being a little pain in my butt right now. So as you can see, we're just starting off with the third level. I'm just showing that you could destroy the trees right there. There's nothing like that comes out of the trees. It's just namely for some small platforming stuff, and it's nice you could kind of destroy the trees. Alright, so in this small little skirmish right here, there's only just, 3 beetle drones, 3 blue ones, and 2 flying drones. Nothing complicated or anything. Very small wave of enemies. You'll notice that the beetle drone Kama is effective against the beetle drones because that's one of their weaknesses, as we went over in the previous video. And like I said, just 5 enemies, nothing too crazy. And I go back to get the skill fire, because I forgot about that. Alright, and here I'm just checking what I can buy. I actually kind of mess up on this part, because there is another skill that you should have bought beforehand, before these two. And it should have been the skill fire, which I believe is in the spiritual skill tree, but I didn't get those. I think I go to it because I'm on this pause screen for a while. Let me just take a sip of my drink because there's really not much going on. Yeah, here's spiritual skills, and then I should have gotten that, and then I could have gotten the skill embers skill, which would have made heavier drops for the skill fire. Would have been just essentially more, and it would have saved me a little bit of time. That's one thing I actually forgot about, but I do get it later on in the video. Alright, right here, here's one of the Scotsman Darters. She gives you Kaiken. And right here should be 1,500 gold. And I believe on the other side is a Jewel of Neptune. And I screw up the jumping because ha ha ha. And there's hot water right there. And right here, I'm just destroying some environmental interactables, seeing what I could get. Got some Bushido Spirit, some gold, nothing crazy. Alright, so this fight is 2 waves, 2 spider drones, 3 beetles, and then 2 bounty hunters and 1 rocket bounty hunter. This fight goes very sloppily. I am not proud of this fight. And I nearly die on it for trying to get a counter on one of the enemies. Alright, and here you go, right there. Easily takes him out compared to the bamboo staff. Oh, it's 1 hunter and 2 rocket guys, my bad. But yeah, see right there? He just canceled his rocket into an immediate attack. I'm just like, oh, okay. Right here, I'm just trying to, wait for a counter, and look at the damage. Jeez. That was like more than half my life on that. You can die so fast in this game, and I just upgraded my health and defense, so that's a little ridiculous. Alright, right here, I believe, is gold. Yep. In this path, the reason why they showed you the focus tutorial is because this is a slightly deviating path. On this path, you're going to get Rothschild. He's going to give you a Jewel of Neptune, and there's going to be a heal pickup. So taking damage in this part isn't really that bad. And even then, you could somewhat backtrack in this level. At the very least, at this part, and then after the jumping off the cliff skirmish, you could backtrack. Afterward, you can't. It's more arena-based, where you can't go back. And so we're just making our way to the next fight, which will be coming up shortly. And this skirmish will just be, a basic kind of Dynasty Warriors scramble with a bunch of enemies that die in 1-2 hits. And then it's going to be followed up by a number of Gator bots and Bounty Hunters, or the Hunter enemies as they're called. See right here, you could just use any weapon, really. I use the staff, because in this fight, I show off that weapons can break, and I just want to reiterate that it's okay to break weapons in this game. It is actually good that you break weapons in this game. See right there, generally it'll give you different audio cues for when the weapon is about to break. For how weapons break, whenever they're hit by an enemy, whether it's you're hitting the enemy or the enemy is hitting you on a block, at least that's when the weapon will break, and you will get guard broken, and you won't be able to guard for a little while. And the reason why you want to break weapons is because you'll get Bushido Spirit, which will help you level up, and it's the most efficient way to get Bushido Spirit. Right here, I just stole the Gator's Spiked Club, and it's also a weakness of the Hunter enemy type. A little crazy, I know, right? Also the Scythe. I just like to use the Scythe. It's very powerful, and it has a decent amount of durability overall. And right here, I'm just switching to the hand so I can steal his club. And right here, here we go. As soon as you get that animation, the enemy is dead. Go. My game's lagging a little bit. I'm just getting the skill embers now, so I'll have more drops, and they'll be in larger quantities when I pick up skill fire. I'm just seeing what else I could get. What was that? Skill blaze? I didn't quite read that. Yeah, that's skill inferno. That means that's a large drop. You will get 2 rubies later on in this stage, so you will be able to access that skill later on. And skill fire will just come as the game goes along, so there's nothing to quite worry about here. As we're just making our way through the level, there's going to be a health pickup right there. There's going to be some skill fire in the air at this little point. You're also going to hear the Ancient King bleeding for help. And it's a reference to the first season. I believe it was episode 10. I forget what the episode was called, but it was Samurai Jack and the Ancient King, I think? Or the Cavern? The Ancient Cavern? I'm not too familiar. But they actually got the original voice actor for him, which is really cool. Alright, so at this point, you want to buy explosive arrows. There's going to be 4 explosive arrows in this stage. One of them you're going to get from one of the Scotsman's daughters. 3 of them you're getting here, and there's only 3 available in this stage. Unfortunately, I don't get the Great Samurai Sword, which I will show the area you do get it. And unfortunately, I use it to get a Corrupted Kamon instead. And if you didn't use it for that, you could have gotten the Great Samurai Sword, which is the strongest katana weapon in the game. It's very brittle and it breaks very easily. So I didn't get it, and even then, you don't need it. And even then, there is another point in the game where you'll get a chance to get it later on in the game. But that's like the second to last level. But even so, it is still very powerful. And it's the same basic moveset as the Magic Katana, so you don't need to learn anything when it comes to like combo structure or how the weapon works or anything. Right here, I'm just using the Morning Star right here, which is the strongest club type weapon, and I'm just taking on enemies right here, getting some parries, getting little counters, dodging a lot. Anytime you see a red glow like that, like I said before, game's lagging a little bit, but like I said, if you see a red glow, that move's unblockable. You can't block them, obviously, but you can counter them like I just did right there. The recording was kind of messing up a bit. It always seems to do it. Right here, I'm just getting a little overwhelmed, so I use the Kakai attack. Clubbing like DJ's Dialer, I think it said. That's a reference to the Season 3, Episode 13 episode with Rave. That was one of the first episodes I ever saw as a kid for Samurai Jack, and that left a huge impression on me. I love that episode. I really wish they had an alternate costume where Jack was in, like, the Rave outfit he stole from that kid. I would have loved that. Alright, so the reason why I got the double dodge is because the next skill is going to be Jump Good, and that's going to be one of the skills we use to get one of the rubies that are in this level. Alright, right here, I'm just seeing what I could upgrade. If you want to, you can upgrade the fists. Personally, I didn't, which is why you'll see me go through this little part of the game with this little optional fight. You could not use the arrow here. There really isn't much purpose to it because you're going to fight Celtic Demons for one, and it's not too worth it. And you're only getting, like, I believe a Jewel of Neptune, which you'll get plenty of through the game. So, I don't know if this fight is quite worth it, especially considering the fact there's a bunch of Celtic Demons, and I do not have a spear weapon. Look at them, 5 Celtic Demons. Right here, I'm just kind of showcasing that, yes, you can cheese it a little bit, and just throw projectiles, and they won't really aggro. Once you get close enough, though, they will, and they'll start shooting at you. But they don't have the best of aim. Here we are. And I'm just taking on the Celtic Demon as usual, manipulating the camera, making sure that they're not getting too aggressive. Right here, I'm just doing the basic launcher into air series combo. Video's lagging a bit for some reason. OBS has been kind of a pain in the ass lately. Luckily, it's nothing too important. Right there, you see the red glow. That's an unblockable, so I'm just charging, and I just throw projectiles. This one, I know I have low life, and he has lots of armor, so I'm just going to spam projectiles. This is one of the few times where I'm actually using the Reaper, and the Reaper is an incredibly powerful tool, and it's very accessible. Yeah. Look at that. It's a cutting weapon, and then it explodes. Look at the damage. Ridiculous. Excuse me for 1 second. Cat. Didn't mean to do that, but there's not really much to say during this part, at the very least. It's just me collecting a weapon. I forget what was in that chest. I didn't see it because I was letting the cat out. I believe it was a Bushido Spirit. And then right here, if you climb the wall, I believe in this chest will be a Jewel of Neptune, which I say really isn't worth it. There will be a later part in the level where you'll be able to get a great samurai sword. And you'll need an explosive arrow for it, and I'd say it's worth it more there. I just didn't quite remember how many explosive arrows I needed. You have to see Jewel of Neptune. It isn't quite worth it, I'd say, because you get plenty of those throughout the game, and you'll have more than enough when you complete the game. But it's still nice to have, overall. And right here, I'm just talking to the Scotsman. He's going to give you a Morning Star. And I go back to the samurai and I sell it. I sell a couple items, actually. I will say I do not sell the beetle drone scythes because I think those weapons are just far too valuable. And yes, and I upgrade the sword to level 3. You do get a new combo string with that. You get a YYY series where it ends in a forward thrusting attack. And it is quite good. Especially with the second hit doing a guard break into that thrust, it will do a lot of damage. Just selling the assault rifles too because I don't need them. Anything that I basically have a duplicate of, I will sell for the most part. Especially if it's something I don't, use particularly often. I'm switching to the fists just in case. And there should be a corrupted Emperor's Kalman here. It's quite easy to find. Just manipulate the camera to the left and there it is. If you want, you could shoot with an arrow. I just choose to punch it, because you can. And once you go in this cave, you will be introduced to suicidal tick drones. You can counter the explosion. It is a little tight at this point in the game because your timing window isn't super extended in comparison to what it can be. You can still do it. I think I do it. But you can also just hold block and they won't really hit you. Like right here. Just hold block and you'll be good. Nothing really does chip damage in this game besides one particular boss. When we get to him, I'll let you know how he works. And I'm just breaking the pots right here, just getting money. There's also pots in the back. A pot, rather. Just checking my inventory. See what I have equipped for the next fight. This next fight can be quite challenging. It's a bunch of Celtic Demons, and it's a bunch of beetle drones, along with flying drones. I'm doing an air series so that they can't really do combos on me. Trying to manipulate the camera. I'm doing XXY, sword series combos. This fight goes very soft. I get command grab twice in this fight, and it goes to show I'm not really paying attention. Because I forgot also about the string you get, the YYY series. Look at the damage. It's ridiculous. It did like a third of my life. And of course, he's attacking me in the corner. There's not as many Celtic Demons as I remember it being. Interesting. I do a Kakai move because there's way too many enemies. Whelmed. Switch to the fist to get the Reaper. Oh yes, these guys headbutt you too. I've actually never seen them do that. Very interesting. I just thought they were stationary enemies that shot lasers at you. Thought it was only the big ones. Interesting. The big ones follow you and they'll headbutt you. See, I'm learning new things about this game. It's crazy. Right here, I'm just trying to bait him into a counter. And I get it right there, and luckily enough, I get White Dama. I get 2, actually. Which usually never happens. But it's okay, because even if you didn't get it, there's a health right there. And it'll heal about half your life, and you should be okay. Alright, then you'll have enough to buy Junk Good. Because I believe I had around 1,100 before? Maybe 19? And then I had 3,700, so that's really good. If you go down here, there's going to be 200 gold here. I remember that specifically because I'm like, maybe I should go down here, see how much it costs. And it's only 200. I thought it would be at least 500. It's a shame. But oh well. Just seeing how much gold I have. Not too much, especially after the expenditure of upgrading the sword. This part, really not much to say. Just be careful of how they push you, like right there. The lava doesn't do a lot of damage, and if you just jump immediately, you won't get knocked back by the lava. You can also roll as well to avoid damage while you're in the lava. It does small damage over time, but it's still something to be mindful of. There's not too many parts in this game that have stuff like that. If anything, this might be the only stage. Just be careful of this last little trap right here. It pushes out a lot. Well, if it stays out like that the longest, like that, it should be okay. You'll be fine on the next run. I believe there's a health pickup here, so in case you really lost a lot of health, there's 2 overall. Now in this next skirmish, next arena, we're going to be fighting a new enemy type. The Skeleton Warriors. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, that, I'm sorry. But it just reminded me of that show, saying that I have to do it every time. Now these guys are actually some of my favorite enemies to fight. There are different variations of the Skeleton Warriors sword enemies. Yes, there are ones with different weapons. You'll see that some of them have different armor pieces and stuff. That means they have slightly different, slight differences. Sometimes their attacks will be unblockable for some of them. Some of them, they'll have lower health if they don't have as much armor. You can steal their weapons away, which is great. The XXY series is very good at taking them down. Alright, I should probably explain that move I just did, I believe I did. Right there. So what I did is when I knocked him down, I did guard heavy, and that does the counter state, and it acts kind of like an OTG, because normally if you knock down an enemy, you can't throw him, but if you hit them with the that specific move, the counter, it will put them not so much in a standing state animation-wise, but it will count it, registering it as such, and you'll be able to throw them. So it is a very important technique to learn, and it's not very difficult to do. You just gotta get used to the overall feel for it, really, because it does look a little awkward as an animation. Alright, so this is another little optional section. This is one of the parts that not only has a come on, but it also has a ruby in the chest. This is one of the 2 sections that you will need explosive arrows to get the come on if you want to get the true ending, which I will try and get every single one in this playthrough. I can't guarantee it, because that's not my priority during this playthrough. Right, so right here is a ruby. For some reason, it showed me the challenge list. I just wanted to check my inventory, but it showed me the challenge list right there. Probably because I opened X amount of chests, because that's also an achievement, opening all the chests in the game. Alright, so in those 2 chests, there will be a spring leaf bow and piercing arrows. I wouldn't suggest getting those right now, because you're going to face a boss. And this is a notorious boss, the Mungo. Everyone really likes him in the show. Nobody likes him in the game. And the reason why is because you fight him on hard mode a total of, I believe, 6 or 7 times. You fight him a lot throughout the game. And he's going to appear in basically nearly every level. He does not appear in level 5, but he will appear in level 4 and onward. So he can be kind of an annoying boss for a lot of people. And on hard mode, he especially appears in just about every single level. Alright, so you see right there that enemies can actually tech your throws. And one of the things I really don't like about this game is that if they tech your throw, you take damage. They don't take any themselves, which I find a little ridiculous. For Demongo, he will always be summoning enemy types. On hard mode, he's generally going to be summoning skeleton warriors. On lower difficulties, he summons like beetle drones and Celtic demons and the like. And on harder difficulties, he'll summon just about every single enemy type you can imagine. He only has 3 attacks. He has a lightning strike that's easily dodgeable. He has lightning that rains down from above, which tracks you. And he has an electrical spear that he shoots out at you. He really isn't a complicated boss by himself. What's interesting is that there's these little black balls that you can hit, and they do the most damage to him, and you get them after killing enemies that he summoned, as you saw right there. You can actually grab them with the grab button and destroy them quickly. Alright. So this is just to open the door. And on our way we go. I believe the next daughter will give us an explosive arrow. And you want to save that. If you already used up your 2 arrows, and if I would recommend it, not going for the next common, I will show you where it is, and I will also show you technically where the Great Samurai Sword would be. I will not be in that area because I do not have enough explosive arrows to get to that area. Luckily enough is that you can replay any levels that you have previously been in this game, even on the harder difficulties. Yep, she gave us an explosive arrow. And if you want, you could just buy the explosive arrows again and then get the Great Samurai Sword for yourself. I personally will not be replaying any levels, just because that's how I want to play the game. That's just how I am. And I just want to be able to show you that you can get through this game without replaying any of the levels. Now this skirmish is just a bunch of small skeleton warriors with swords. You could just do running light with the sword on them and they'll die instantly. And then we have another new enemy type, the giant skeleton warrior with the hammer. There's only one giant variant of them, and they look intimidating because they can be. They have a lot of health, they have a lot of armor, they hit hard, but if you know how to deal with them, they're really not that bad. When you equip the mace, because the mace has the fastest counter timing in the game, so you can instantly react to a lot of his stuff. It also guard breaks them. Right there, I instantly react, and I'm able to get a counter. And you just want to bait him into attacking, and then just counter as much as you can. He has no command grabs, he has nothing that will chip you, so just counter him. That's how you deal with him, and it's especially easy if it's one-on-one. In survival mode, there will be multiple of them, and it is quite a pain in the ass to deal with them. But if it's just one singular enemy, it's not so bad. And counters give you a bunch of benefits. You saw I got a blue Dama, I got a white Dama, you'll get money, just a bunch of stuff. Right here, I believe I'm just switching out my weapons. Yep. And here is a reference to the show, which had like a spike ceiling that Jack was running from. A lot of this level actually has a lot of references to the obstacles he was going through in this episode, which is a really nice touch. Just about everything. So right here, I go for the money. I don't go for the skill fire because there's a little bit more. And if you go to the left, you'll see there's a spring well where you'll meet the Scotsman, and right here is the corrupted Common. Just shoot it with an arrow and you'll get it. Unfortunately, I ran out of an explosive arrow, so I cannot get the Great Samurai Sword. And even if you do run out of arrows, you could just replay the level over again, get it, and you could just start a new level over. You know, you could just quit after getting the sword once you reach a checkpoint, and just continue on to the next level if you so desire. Just be wary that if you are getting the Great Samurai Sword, you're going to have to deal with another one of those giant hammer guys, and Facebook is alerting me to stuff that I don't care about. And you're going to have to deal with a couple more tiny skeleton warriors, so be careful of that. Here, I'm just checking what I could buy. See what I can get. Oh my god, yes. Right here, I'd buy, I believe that was a hammer combo, and then I get the new sword combo. And I'm just looking where is a very specific skill that I want, but I didn't quite find it. I was just like, I gotta get through the video. And I'm just showing off the new combo right here. It ends in a forward thrust, and it's a very powerful move. And it has invincibility on it, so I would recommend using that string a lot. Alright, so you don't actually want to like jump down from too great a height because you can take fall damage, and you will see later on in this recording that I do fall from too great a height and it nearly kills me. Luckily you don't die from falling, but you will be left with a pixel of life. And any hit will basically kill you if you're in a skirmish. Right, there's some white Dama. Didn't need it, but it's right there. Here's some tick drones. And I believe I get a counter off right there. Yep, you can counter them as they're doing the explosion, so it's not too bad. Alright, so right here, I'm just going to get the Common. A little, platforming section, none too crazy. If you really want to, you could actually dodge roll through the fire. I didn't because I forgot about it for a second, I'm not going to lie. And I'm just waiting. If you want, you could also use an arrow, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to get it, just good old-fashioned, walk into it instead of shooting an arrow. All right, here's more tick drones. Oh, you could just do a counter as well, even if they don't explode, they'll just die in one hit. And I'm just like, let me cut them up a bit. And luckily it was worth it because he did give me some skill fire. That was me just checking how much skill fire I have. Watch out, there's another tick drone. And there should be 3 blue beetles, I believe, coming up right after him. This is your chance to get Reapers, which are very, very good. Yep, right there. I did the counter attack into throw, which OTGs them so you could combo into throw. And I get 3 free Reapers from that. Now, one thing that is unfortunate is that even though the Reapers are an explosive weapon, you can only destroy these doors with explosive arrows. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it is like that, but it's just how it is, just how the game's programmed. It was scripted to where if you use the explosive arrow, it'll destroy just not labeled for just any explosive, which is kind of a shame. But I guess maybe they thought people would be a little too creative. Because I'll see right here, there is a door right there that you can destroy with an explosive arrow, and through that door, that's where you would get the Great Samurai Sword. The Great Samurai Sword is the strongest blade weapon in the game. Yes, it's stronger than the Magic Sword. The only problem with it is that it has low durability, but there is a bracelet in the game that allows you to have infinite durability with a weapon. See, as you can see, I'm throwing Reapers at it, and it doesn't destroy the door. If it did, it would have been great, but because I ran out of explosive arrows, I can't go through that door. Just note, you are going to have to fight enemies if you are going to try and get that weapon. And like I said before, there will be another point in the game. It's much later into the game, but there is another point into the game where you will be able to get the Great Samurai Sword. There's 2 spots where you get it. You get it in that spot, and I believe you get it in level 8. Yeah, level 8. I'm not going to spoil what level it's called. You could probably guess why and what it is if you already beat the game on normal. Or, well, this is your first time on hard, I'm assuming, so... Alright, just 2 beetle drones right there. Just get your free Reapers. And this is the last time you'll see the Samurai in this level. So, I personally would recommend getting the Naginata. I don't buy it for some reason. And I say this because the Naginata is pretty good against the boss. It's his weakness, generally, so it's going to do a little bit of extra damage. And if you get this one specific skill with it, I believe it's called the Rod of Justice combo. It's the XXY series for the spear weapon. And basically, it will do a series of thrusts that you can mash that have invincibility on them, and you could do a lot of DPS on them. It's really, really strong overall. So I'd recommend getting that. Just be careful when it comes to using counter moves, not parry moves, because the spear weapon has the slowest counter time in the game. The counters have different varying speeds for whatever reason. So, unless you're really good at being preemptive with how you counter the boss, I wouldn't recommend countering him, but parrying, it's all the same across every weapon, so I'd rather have you do that in case you're not comfortable with counters. Now, at this part right here is a small platforming section. Generally, what you want to do is not fuck up like I did, and just kind of keep falling to the left, and you'll just fall onto each platform. Luckily, they give you a health pickup right there to give you a haggis, just in case. Don't use the haggis up to this point. If you have projectiles, just throw them. The Reapers are incredibly strong. They one-shot, basically, the smaller skeleton warriors that don't have armor. And they nearly kill these ones that you can grab them and get their weapon. And here I'm just switching to the fists because I want to get his weapon and do the counter. That's the YYY series, I believe. And for some reason, I thought he was at low enough life to get his weapon. He wasn't, and he tacked the throw. And now I took damage for it, which is very unfortunate. It's kind of silly how you take damage if they tech a throw. I don't understand why they did it like that. But it's just how the game is. Alright, so right here, you'll be able to get a White Dama. Excuse me, yeah, Wellspring, excuse me. And the Scotsman's Daughter will give you a haggis. For some reason, I didn't go up to her and get the haggis. I did edit this video because I did die multiple times on the boss. He can actually do quite a bit of damage, and if you're not paying attention, he can catch you off guard, like he did me. Alright, so right here, I'm going to combat skills, and I'm unlocking the Rod of Righteousness. That's what it's called, not Rod of Justice. I think I called it Rod of Justice. Alright, and we're just making our way to the boss. Unfortunately, there's this slow-moving platform on the lava you have to go on. If you had your sword all the way upgraded with the Flying Swallow-esque move, you would be able to just zoom right in onto the boss, but can't. Wait, and here is the Ancient King himself. Now, he has a couple of attacks that can be problematic if you're not up close. He has that charging move. He has a mace swing that shoots a projectile. Sometimes it tracks, sometimes it doesn't. He has that stomp move, which, the amount of damage I took, that was like 90%. I'm nearly dead. Jeez. See, there's the shockwave. He also has a couple of projectiles that he could shoot. Right there, I get the running guard on him. So, just be careful. He does have a command grab move that if you're underneath him, he can't scoop you up. But if you're just underneath him, like right there, if you're just underneath him, you'll be able to dodge the command grab, no problem. That command grab will result in a QTE where you have to shake the stick, and it's a little obnoxious. Right there, I get the counter because I knew he would do the stomp right there. Generally, if he does one stomp and then the other stomp, he'll go for the leaping stomp, like that. Right there, so you'll be able to get the timing down pretty well. Here's another charging attack. If he wanted to, he could have done an unblockable projectile, where he shoots out his hand, and it's an electric shockwave, but I don't believe he did it in this fight. Oh no, he does right there. For some reason, he did it up close like that. He also has another move where he shoots lasers from his eyes. Those are generally blockable, and you can also counter them, or parry them like I did right there. Right now, he's lower than half-life. I get a red Dama, and I get really lucky because it does way more damage, especially the XXXY series right here. How much damage that Y Ender did? A lot. And I wasn't comfortable getting the counter timing down, so I just blocked. Video's skipping a little bit, which is a shame. Alright, so I'm just getting the running guard parry right there. I just block right there. He tried to scoop me up, even though I'm on the other side. I used the Mace Kikai, because why not? It didn't do a lot of damage. For whatever reason, I just wanted to do it. But then, you'll see me switch to the fists, and you'll be wondering, why are you switching to the fists? Well, there's a very good reason for it. The game does not tell you, it does give you a hint with the second boss, but you can steal boss weapons in this game. There's only 2 that you can do it to, and this is one of the bosses that you can't do that to. So you'll see, I'm just kind of punching him. He'll be in a down animation. You press the grab button, and here you go. You steal his weapon, and that's the end of the level. And you'll get one of the best weapons in the game for using that finisher. Alright, and I'm going to show off how many times I died and my rank. I got an A rank and I died 5 times. Yeah, dying definitely affects your score right there. So, that's not a... I'd recommend not dying because it would give you more money towards the end of the level. Alright, so that's the end of part 3 of this video series walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you again next time. Take care and have a good day.